Crusader Kings 3 has a ton of total conversion mods. Some of my favorite include Elder King, set in the Elder Scrolls universe, Prince of Darkness, basically CK3 Twilight, and After the End, which reimagines a post-apocalyptic Western Hemisphere. But the most popular of them all, the one some players only play, is the Game of Thrones mod. With the release of Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, I've been itching to dive back into this setting. So today, we're playing as the Greyjoys, the smallest, weakest, and probably poorest kingdom in the Seven Kingdoms. The AGOT mod gives us a bunch of start dates, but we're jumping in at 284 after Conquest. Robert Baratheon has taken the throne, but years before the main story kicks off. We'll be playing as Balon Greyjoy with one goal: independence from the rest of Westeros. In the lore, things don't go great for Balon. He rebels, scores a few early wins, but eventually gets crushed when the Seven Kingdoms unite, destroy his fleet, and sack his strongholds, forcing him to bend the knee once again. Since CK3 really doesn't have a naval mechanic, we'll need to be a lot more cunning than story Balon. Let's see how it goes. We kick things off by sizing up our position, and honestly, it wasn't great. Compared to the rest of the Seven Kingdoms, the Iron Islands were essentially the smallest and weakest of the bunch. But we did have one major advantage no one else could match: raiding. That gave us a way to actually grow, building up our lands and our military until we could punch above our weight inside the kingdoms. To get things rolling, we revoked the nearby barony lands, squeezing out a bit more monthly income and giving us somewhere to invest all this hard-earned gold. From there, we launched a quick war for the Stepstones, or at least one county of the Stepstones, to unlock even more lucrative raiding targets. But is their army ever going to come out and play, or no? They're just going to let us raid all their lands, just become the best Reaver that ever has done Reaved. After our first big haul, we pivoted into development, starting a building chain with the Crown Smith to buff our heavy infantry Reavers, pairing that with our 10% bonus damage for advantage, and suddenly we had a force that could seriously threaten the Baratheons or anyone else who tried to stand in our way. From that point forward, it was all about grinding: raid, build, recruit, repeat. By 287, we had enough momentum and gold to head to the university in Old Town, aiming to upgrade our martial skill and snag some easy perk points along the way. I guess it is numbers as well. Our university tour is going to go poorly, but that's okay. Unfortunately, our trip to the university didn't yield much, just a book and 2 martial perks. Not exactly game-changing, but it was time to head back to Essos and dive into a mountain of ill-gotten gains. We also pulled off a quick little cheese tactic to squeeze out an extra building slot by switching the county capital around. You can sneak in another building for each barony, basically free real estate. While out on a raid vacation in Bravos, we got a front row seat to the most titillating puppet show imaginable. I love how we're just like, hey guys, stop. We gotta watch this puppet master. I hear he's got good shit. Meanwhile, our spy master had been hard at work digging up dirt across the land, and we struck at gold. Turns out the real killer of Robert Clegane was Prince of Dorne. Naturally, we used that to leverage to lock in an alliance for future wars. These kids are looking a lot more Baratheon than they're supposed to. What's your brother up to? Oh, he dead. A few years later, we secured another big alliance, the Reach. We betrothed one of our sons to the Tyrell family, bringing the Reach into our corner as well. Me and the Reach boys. By 296, our army was starting to look thick and packed with Reavers and backed by a solid stack of siege equipment. Perfect timing too, because Daenerys launched her war for the Iron Throne, putting us in a tough spot. Oh man. Okay, so let's think this through real quick. So if Dany goes on the throne, she most likely is dealing with rebellion after rebellion for a little while, and then maybe she's weaker and we can like finagle a thing. If we stay neutral and declare on Robert ourselves, we can tap in at a point in the war that is like a low point for them. If we join Robert, he won't really give us anything, and it's kind of against what we want. In the end, we sided with Daenerys, hoping to weaken the crown enough to eventually break away. After a few months of fighting, including taking King's Landing, she claimed the throne. Who's this? Of course, now it's gonna go right back to a Baratheon because she dies. Unfortunately for her, the AGOT mod is a little buggy, which worked massively in our favor. 67 gold is not 25 years in debt. Should we secede? I mean, we easily get back and we become independent. Easy win, do it. I mean, I'm taking advantage of this, but we were able to slip out of the Seven Kingdoms with almost no resistance and even got paid by the crown for helping against the Baratheon's usurper. Of course, the chaos didn't stop there. Fake Aegon showed up with an army, kicking off another war for the Six Kingdoms. Not that we cared anymore since Ironborn were already out. In the end, Aegon was crushed, Daenerys died from her wounds, and some random Baratheon kid ended up on the throne, making those last two wars pretty much meaningless. Aside from one very important detail, we walked away independent. With our newfound independence, it was finally time for a coronation. But there was one major problem. We didn't actually have a crown. Thanks to our faith, forging one the usual way wasn't an option, which meant we had to take one the Ironborn way and steal it from the Westerosi. Boys, we gotta reroute real quick. We gotta go raid King's Landing in the hopes that we can get a fucking crown, because this game won't let me make a crown because the Ironborn are the Ironborn. Our hunt started in King's Landing, but all we managed to grab was a member of the King's Guard. Close, but not quite wearable. Next stop was Sunspear, where we captured the Princess of Dorne. Also not exactly crown material unless she wants to be. Our crown dilemma got put on hold in 300 AC when Jon declared himself for the throne. Got a CB. Who's this lady? Wait, why is he married to one of the Lannisters? That chaos gave us the perfect opportunity to invite Tywin Lannister, recently cast aside by Daenerys or some previous ruler, and pressed his claim on his son for the Rock. We landed in Castle Rock and brought it down quickly. Ironically, while all this was happening, we finally were able to commission a crown anyways. Oh, we can commission a new crown. Oh, we can. I liked my idea of having to having to go steal a crown. So we made ourselves a nice driftwood crown. Definitely not in line with the whole iron price ideology, but at this point I was tired of hemorrhaging legitimacy. By 301, we had wrapped up the war and secured one of the richest regions in the Six Kingdoms. As if that wasn't enough, the game decided to bless us with the Conqueror's trait, making all future wars significantly cheaper. Riding that momentum, with the realm still falling apart, we pushed into the Riverlands to take the twins. During the siege of Riverrun, we somehow captured Jorah Mormont and claimed Longclaw for ourselves. We quickly pieced out and went looking for a craftsman to rework the Valyrian steel. Turns out, that's easier said than done. Meanwhile, the Baratheons managed to hang on to the throne, and we rekindled our alliance with the Reach through another royal marriage, consolidating our gains only for Tywin to immediately rebel. So, back to the Westerlands we went, once again taking Castle Rock and stripping him of his title. But after installing a more loyal Lannister, we brought Tywin right back into the fold as our steward, because honestly, he's just too good to go to waste. Feeling emboldened by our growing strength, called on members of House Reed to press their claim on the Neck, bringing in the Reach Boys to help us take on the North. Fighting in the Neck is unique. There's a mechanic where your army gets ambushed by random Crenogmen while marching through. They're easy enough to deal with, but increasingly annoying when you're trying to focus on the main northern forces. During the war, we managed to capture Jon Snow and decided to keep him around for future schemes. I've got a proposal for you. From there, the campaign went smoothly, and by 307, we had secured the Neck, effectively cutting the north off from the rest of the Six Kingdoms. Jon, now vacationing in Pike, we arranged a marriage for him with Asha, after of course dealing with his Lannister wife. We also hosted a grand wedding for our son and a member of the House Tyrell, where I may or may not have gone on a full-on event planning tirade. Let's talk about this for 1 second. This is literally the only thing I have somewhat expertise on. You're trying to throw a party at Pike. What castle do you throw the party in? Is it this one? 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 Either way, even if it's just the first one, you're gonna have to come across this bridge. That's fine. The second one, you're gonna have to come across the bridge and then go through all the way up a level and then to the next level. You think that's easy? You gotta move tables, you gotta move chairs, you gotta get all the food there. You gotta move people. Logistically, it's a fucking nightmare. Pike is the worst. Everywhere else makes so much sense. Winterfell, great layout of a castle. Look at this. Look at this. Well, don't look under there. Easy to access all the places. Could be held in any of these courtyards. Wide areas. Obviously, the weather is terrible at certain times, but easy access. As part of our long game, we gifted a Longclaw to Jon, boosting his loyalty and increasing the chance of him producing a proper Greyjoy heir with Asha. By 1312, it was finally time to press Jon's claim for the Iron Throne. After a quick sack of King's Landing and an easy victory over the Crown forces, just stack wipe their army. The Reach Boys and Balon back together again. Me and the Reach Boys reaching right into King's Landing and taking the land that we weren't supposed to. We once again placed a Targaryen on the throne. And just like that, Greyjoy supremacy was secured to inherit if Jon can stay on the throne, which I think he can. I think he's got the gumption. He technically is a Targaryen, so title history, Targaryens back in the throne. Baratheons had a weird stint. Daenerys was back on, and then these boys fell off, and then Jon's back in. Yeah, we'll probably be back again, and maybe more AGOT. I don't know if this saved because we've achieved all we wanted to. The hard thing about once you take the Iron Throne is that it's kind of like the end all be all unless you want to like forcibly remove everybody from different lands and stuff like that. I'll see you all in the future. Ciao, guys.